Hi, yogis. This is a forward bending Hatha yoga class. So we're going to start lying on stomachs. Make your way down onto your tummy, resting your forehead on your hands, sinking down into your chest. Then slide your left knee up the floor towards your left elbow. So we're coming into a very gentle stretch in the inner left thigh and across your lower back. Just taking a few relaxed breaths here. Feeling the rise of your spine and that flow of the wave up the back of your breath. Each time you exhale, sinking and softening into your belly, relaxing into your chest. Now sliding your left leg back down the mat and change sides. Right knee slides forward. Soften your eyes. Relax your cheeks and your mouth. With each out breath, dropping more into your forehead, deeper into the hips. Now sliding your right leg back. And from here, we're going to make our way to sit to heels, big toes together. Spread the knees to the edges of your mat. Sink your forehead down and reach your arms forward. You're welcome to drop your forearms and elbows to the mat. Once again, noticing the breath. And with each out breath, sinking deeply into your front body. Now walking your hands all the way up. We're going to come into some cats and cows. Rolling the spine with the breath. Inhale and open the chest. Exhale to stretch down your spine and into the back of your neck and your head. Keep rolling from one side of the body into the other, taking full long breaths in and out. One more roll to each side. And then coming into a flat spine, slide the hands forward, come into your baby down dog. Press your toes down into the floor. Shift your weight from your knees into your feet and your heels. Softening through the back of your neck again. And then walking back up onto hands. And then lifting your knees, push up into down dog. From down dog, walking feet forwards to your hands, sink down over the thighs. We're going to hang down, take the feet are parallel, relax your neck, relax the back muscles. Let's take some rolls of the wrists. Keep gently pressing your knees out in line with the heels. Don't lean them in towards each other. And roll your wrists in the opposite direction. And let your arms hang. Take a few rolls of the shoulders. And change and circle in the opposite direction. And then relax the shoulders and the arms. Now we're going to come onto fingertips in line with the shoulders, or even slightly wider than that. And we're going to bend and straighten the knees with a breath. So as you breathe out, knees bend, stretch your hips back, but stretch the chest forward. As you breathe in, lengthen up with the knees, and keep bending and straightening with the breath. So each time the legs straighten, lean more into your fingers and your head, not back to your bum. As your knees bend, then you stretch the bum back, but also lengthening the spine by stretching chest forwards. So each time the knees bend, we're trying to flatten out the back as much as possible. Full deep breaths. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deep bend. And now next time you stretch the legs up, we'll stay there. Maybe your knees are still a little bit bent, that's okay. Hang your head, relax the neck, and relax your face again. And floating with the breath, on an inhale, reach your arms all the way up over your head. Exhale, hands down to your chest. On an in-breath, reach back up again. As you breathe out, forward fold, lean to your toes. On the inhale, half lift, stretch the chest forward. As you breathe out, sinking down, so pulsing up and down. Inhale to float up to standing. Exhaling, hands to heart. As you breathe in, reach back up again. On the exhale, circle your arms out to the side, tip forwards towards the shins. On an inhale, half lift. On an exhale, sink down deep again. In breath to float up to standing. Exhaling, hands to center. We'll do that one more time. Breathing in, reach up. Exhale and fold. Half lift. And then sink down deep. Rising with the in-breath and exhaling, hands to center. And now this time when we fall, we're going to hold our half lift, breathing out on the forward bend. On your inhale, bring hands to shins. Now flatten your spine. We're trying to get the chest and the back completely parallel to the floor. So don't have your hands too close to your ankles because then your spine will be at a diagonal angle. So lift the chest, keep your weight tipping to your toes, don't lean back into your bum. And then on an out breath, take hands to the mat. Taking feet back into down dog. Either stay in your down dog or on an in breath, flow forwards to your plank. On your exhale, lowering down. On the in breath, curling to cobra or upwards facing dog, but then sink the chest, don't push up out of the shoulders. Making your way to hold your down dog. Check alignment of hands. Index fingers are parallel to each other. Your wrist creases are parallel to the top edge of the mat, not twisting in or twisting out. Taking the heels are back behind the ankles, so feet are parallel, even in your down dog. From here, take your feet forwards to the top of the mat, sink down over thighs on an out breath. On an inhale, come all the way up, arms overhead, exhaling arms down as you stay standing. You take the arms straight back up with your next inhale. On your out breath, forward bend. Like you did the last time, we come to the half lift, hands to knees or shins. Flatten out your back, stretch the chest forward, lengthen through the top of the head as well, and keep squeezing your belly up to help keep that back nice and flat. Notice your breathing and keep your breathing fluid and even. Taking hands down to the floor. Travel yourself back into your down dog. You can stay there or flow yourself forwards to your plank. Lowering down on an out breath. Inhale to curl your chest up. On your exhale, taking it back to hold your down dog again. Make sure that you have even weight into both hands and that you're not leaning more to the baby finger side of your palm. Keep your weight into your thumb and the first finger next to the thumb as well. And then don't let the middle finger or the ring finger lift. Keep them pressing down firmly to the mat. And now when we take feet forwards to hands, we're going to step our feet to the edges of the mat. Feet are parallel with the big toes slightly turned in, either just hanging your arms or holding forearms or elbows or holding onto ankles or calves or even the thighs. Now press your knees out away from each other. We're always trying to shift our weight to the outer edges of the legs because of the shape of the leg here, that V shape make you lean your way to the inner edges, and then that puts too much pressure on the inner ankle. So shift your weight to the outer ankle as much as possible, but really root down through the big toe and the base of the big toe. Now coming to hands, and we're going to step back into a high lizard. So we're taking right leg back down the right side of the mat. So my left foot is on the left side of the mat. My right baby toe is on the right side, touching the right edge of the mat. Arms are straight down under my shoulders. Flattening out your back as much as you can here. Try to get your back leg straight. And if you look at my right heel, you'll see it's up really high over the toes. It's not behind the line of the toes. Not doing that. We're doing this. Heel up nice and high. And now from here, we're going to go into Pasvattanasana. So I'm stretching my left knee straight. And I'm going to twist on my right toes, turn the right heel in, and drop the right heel to the ground. Now, if you can't get the right heel to the floor, step your right foot further forwards towards your right hand and flatten that back foot down fully. If you can't touch the floor here, you can bend the left knee slightly, or you come up onto fingertips, or you can rest your hands on a block or some kind of prop. We used to say telephone directories, but a lot of people don't have those anymore. So even a pile of books or a shoebox will do if you don't have a block, a yoga block. Now keep lengthening back evenly through both sides of your pelvis, through both hips and legs. And then we're going to step the right foot forward. You're stepping that foot forward to touch the right edge of the mat, the baby toe and outer heel touch, not just the baby toe. And then step your left leg back down your mat. We're coming to a high lizard on the other side. So right knee is directly over your right heel, arms straight under the shoulders, left baby toes touching the back left edge of the mat on the side. Flattening out your spine. Stretching that left leg fully straight and lifting the heel up as high as you can. Now, each time you breathe in, lengthen the top of the head forward to help lengthen your spine and flatten your back. Now we're going to stretch the front knee straight. That foot stays where it is, that front foot. You turn your left heel in towards the center of your mat and drop your heel. Back foot is at a 45-degree angle on the mat. Your left toe is still touching the left edge of the mat. Stretching both legs straight. Again, like the other side, if you need to, you step that left foot further forwards so that you can get the heel and the foot flat on the ground. Now, careful not to move your bum off to the right. Keep your pelvis centered on your mat. And then from here, we're stepping forward, left foot to the left edge of the mat again. You turn your heels in a little bit or toes out, and let's sit down into a squat. Lift your heart as high as you can, and if you need to, you rest elbows on thighs with the hips a little bit higher. We're going to do 3 of these. Palm to the sky, turn the feet parallel again, swing your arms back behind you, clasp your hands or interlace the fingers. Hang your head so the back of the neck releases. And again, coming into your squat. You can also keep your feet parallel in a squat. You don't have to turn the heels in. That helps the inner groins and thighs to roll backwards and gives you a better or a deeper hip integration. And then again, bum to the sky, feet parallel, swing the arms back and shift your weight forwards into the fronts of your ankles, shins, and knees. Keep lifting the arches of your feet up nice and high away from the floor. Into our third squat, so either keeping feet parallel or turning the heels in if you need to. And we're going to go up into one more forward fold. So hips up. This time bring your feet in so your heels are under the hips, and we're going to take Padahastasana. So turn your palm to face up, slide your palm under the sole of your foot. Try and get your toes to touch your wrist, not halfway up your hand, and do that on both hands and feet. So knees can be bent here, but still keep those knees in line with your heels. Don't turn them in towards each other. That's not good for your knees or your ankles. And the more you stretch the legs straight, the more you're going to lean into the fronts of the feet rather than back towards your bum. Keep your bum going forwards as if you're trying to tip it over your head. Relax your neck and just hang that head down. And then bending into the knees, sliding your hands out. On an in breath, come all the way up. Exhale, hands down. On an in breath, reach up again. As you breathe out, forward fold. And now we're going into our high lizard again. Lengthen your chest forward. Step your right leg back. Take the left foot a little bit wider so that it's wider than your left shoulder. And now keeping your left knee over your heel, walk your hands around to the right side of your mat, maybe even off the right side of your mat. Once you're there, check that that right knee is straight and pointing down. Right heel is lifting and pointing straight up. And then your left knee is still back over the left heel, and you can even push that left knee back with your hand. You're welcome to walk your hands away from your chest in the direction that your head is pointing, but don't let that left knee lean in. Keep pressing it back away from your left waist. And then taking your hands forwards to the inside of your left foot again. We're going to turn the right heel in and down and stretch the front knee straight. Okay, so the difference from the last one is the feet are a bit narrower. The last time we did this, feet were on the edges of the mat. Now your feet are more in line with your hips. And again, make sure you're not twisting your left thumb off to the side. Keep the pelvis centered. Move the hips towards the right to make the pelvis center itself. And you're welcome to stretch the arms forward if you're down that deep. Keep trying to flatten out in the knees and the legs, so you're not bending the knees. Now we're going to walk hands around to the right side of the mat. Turn your feet parallel. You adjust the feet to the width that feels right for you and fold yourself all the way down. Either hanging arms or palms on the mat or holding onto your legs. Shift your weight over your head. Don't lean back into the hips and the bum. Keep lifting your sits bones high and tipping them forwards over your back. Hang the head a little bit more deeply. Fully relax the sides of your neck. And now we're going to roll all the way up. And we're coming into a triangle. Turn your left toes to the front of your mat. Back foot is still perpendicular on the mat. Reach the arms wide and fold over. Either hand to shin or hand to ankle or fingers or palm to the mat. Either right arm straight up or right hand onto your right hip. Take the shoulders all the way back towards your spine. If you're doing hand on hip, you stay like that. If your arm is reaching up, you're welcome to stay there or reach your arm all the way over your head and come more into that side stretch down the right side body. Check in with your left knee that it's not twisting towards your chest. Twist your left knee towards your left baby toe. And taking hands down to the ground. And we're going to step up to the top of the mat with the right foot. And we're taking the left leg back into our high lizard. So we're taking right foot and moving it out to the right side of the mat. Arms on the inside of that right leg. Check that your heel is over your knee. And then walk your hands around to the left. Check in with the back leg. Make sure your left knee points straight down. Left heel points straight up. Then check your right knee is still over the right heel. It's not leaning in the direction of your right shoulder or arm. If you want to, you can reach your arms out away from your mat, but don't let that right knee fold in if you are stretching the arms further away from your chest. And now taking hands to the inside of your right foot. We're going to turn the left heel in and down. Stretch your right knee straight. So again, now your heels are more in line with your hips rather than the edges of the mat. Both legs straight, both heels on the floor, but particularly the back heel. Don't lift your left heel off the mat. Now we're going to stay in the forward bend. Walk your hands around to the left. Turn your feet parallel to each other again. And either staying on your hands or hanging the arms, or again reaching out for your legs or your feet or ankles. Press the inner knees out away from each other, so we're widening the inner legs to help shift the weight onto the outer edges of your feet to keep your ankle joints and your knees safe. Trying to shift out of the wear and tear on the inner knee and the inner ankle by pressing the legs away from each other. On an in-breath, come all the way up to standing for our triangle. Turn your right toes to the front edge of the mat. Spread the arms wide. And on your exhale, fold over. Hand to shin or ankle or hand to the ground. Maybe left hand on the hip or left arm straight up. Lean towards your back, not towards your chest and the inner right thigh. And then maybe taking that left arm over your head and trying to stretch the left elbow straight. Soften into the sides of your neck and lengthen them forwards away from your shoulders. And taking hands forwards and down. And we're going to step up to the top of the mat. Bring your feet to touch each other. Hold onto your legs with your hands and fall down as deep as you can over your thighs. Now, if you're pulling onto your legs with your arms, if you're using arm strength here, don't let that tighten your neck and your shoulders. Relax the neck and shoulders and just hang your head. Don't push your forehead towards your legs. Trying to push your head towards your legs doesn't help you to fall deeper. Forward bends come from your torso, not from your head and your neck. So just hang the head and neck. Relax them. Relax the shoulders. Okay, now releasing and taking feet hip distance apart. Actually go a little bit wider than hips because we're going to go back into a low lizard. So from here, stepping your right leg back down your mat, you drop your right knee to the ground. Get your left heel underneath your left knee. Arms are directly under your shoulders. Don't bring your hands closer together. Keep your hands directly under the shoulders and take the left foot wider than your left hand. Flattening into your back. We're holding it here for half a minute. If you're taking elbows to the ground, it's left elbow down first, then your right, so that we can square off in the chest and the torso. And if you can't get left elbow to the ground, come back up onto your hands. Don't take left elbow down and then it hovers and only the right elbow goes to the mat. Both arms doing exactly the same thing so that you're square in the chest and the shoulders. Like each in-breath, lengthening through the side of the neck forwards towards the top of your head. Don't tuck your chin into your throat. Keep the chin out of the neck. From here, we're going to go into a half splits, shifting right hip over the right knee. Stretch the left leg straight, which means the left heel has to go a little bit further forwards on the mat than it was in your lunge. And then keep lifting this left bum up away from the floor. Don't sink your way down into that left bum. Lift it up high. Flatten your spine out. Still lengthening through both sides of the neck. And now stepping your left knee to the mat. And we take our low lizard on the other side. So stepping your right foot forwards to the outside of your right hand. Get your knee directly over the heel. And then make sure that foot is a little bit wider than your right shoulder so your arms can be directly underneath your two shoulders. Don't bring those hands into the center. Don't have them touching. Hands are shoulder width apart, and that will help you to flatten out your back and open into your chest. You relax into your mouth and your cheeks. Soften the eyes. Soften your whole face. And keep your mind noticing your breath flowing in and out through your nose. And now we're going back into our half splits. Move the hips back. Don't take your bum back over or past the line of your left knee. Rather, wiggle that right heel forwards to get the right leg straight. And then holding that half split, lift your right bum up. Don't sink it down. Okay, that pushing or sinking the right bum towards the mat puts a little bit of strain on the hip joint, strain on the connective tissue around the hip joint. We lift it up and that strain is relieved somewhat. All right, bringing right knee to the floor. And from here, we're going to come down to sitting. Swing your legs out in front of you for a Jana Shashasana. Always got to throw in my Jana Shashasana, right? So left foot to inside of right thigh, and then folding yourself forwards. Flatten into your back as much as you can. Pull your toes back towards your knee. Each time you breathe in, lift your front ribs away from your tummy. Use the movement in the rib cage to flatten out your spine. On an in-breath, you lift all the way up and change legs. Left leg straight, right foot to inside of the left leg. Drop that right knee down and then tipping forwards. Wherever you're going to, however deep or however slightly you fold forwards, try to keep the back flat and long. Flex this left ankle, pull your toes up towards your knee, and focus on the breath again. Focusing on your breath will help to release tension. Each in-breath lifting the top of your head away from your hips. And coming up, we stretch the right leg out. And from here, we're coming to cross ankles. Doesn't matter which shin in front. We take our forward bend, again tipping onto hands or fingers or elbows, or stretching the arms as far forward as you can. But keep your bum down and stay heavy with your thighs. We want these leg muscles to relax as much as possible, and you encourage that to happen by sinking the thigh bones. Also relax your feet, so soften into the soles of the feet and the toes. And sliding your hands up, change your legs over, either shin or ankle in front, sink the leg bones, and tip forwards onto your hands once more. Flatten the back out by working with your breath. Each in breath, taking your chest forwards a little bit more, even if that means your head comes up higher. Just like standing forward bend, don't try and push your head towards the floor. Your head and your neck pushing down will only tighten the neck and cause more tension. It won't release any of it. And then coming all the way up. We're going to open legs out into a V shape. You don't have to go super wide if that's uncomfortable for you. Go to where it is comfortable for you. Flex the ankles and then either reaching for shins or ankles or outer edges of the feet. Don't go for inner edges because it rounds the back. Outer edges of the feet if you're that far, or onto your hands on the floor again, or onto forearms, or stretching the arms all the way out in front of you. Find the version that is working for you today, not what you did yesterday or the day before, because it's often different. Right? Our bodies respond to what we're going through mentally and emotionally, and particularly for women, hormonally, where we have different flexibility at different times of the month, depending on what's going on hormonally, and as I said, maybe just in your head or in your life generally, that affects your body. So each pose is new. Each time you come to it, it's a new and different experience. Okay, we're coming all the way up, and we're going to make our way onto back for Shavasana. You're welcome to hug your knees once you're down on your back for a few breaths. Rock around a little bit if you need to. And then get yourself as comfortable as possible. Shift your body around and then allow yourself to completely relax. Let your eyelids relax and sink your eyes into the back of your skull. And now taking in a deep breath, reach your arms out over your head, stretch your body open. Maybe hugging your knees again. From here, rocking yourself up to sitting. Thanks, everyone. Well done. Namaste.